Good day, pupils. You're welcome back to JC Best School Mathematics class. This class is for Basic 4. I hope you had a nice weekend and I hope you're staying safe. So our topic for this week is factorials and permutation. Again, factorials and permutation. Alright, so I know you'll just be looking at me. I know this is a new topic to you, but trust me, it's something that is very simple. So I just want to urge you, don't mind the name, don't allow the name to scare you, okay? It's the same thing you have been doing. It's the same addition, multiplication, subtraction we have been doing, but this time around we're going to be doing it in a unique way. So I promise you, you're going to enjoy the class and you will testify you're going to enjoy the class. And I also want to commend you. You guys have really been doing well. You've been doing your assignment. You've been submitting your assignment. You are really very good. So last assignment was I can say it was the best throughout when we started our online teaching. Everybody is just getting 10. So I believe this class to our topic for this week, our assignment is going to be perfect. All right, let's see our specific objective for this class. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to define factorials. You should be able to state the symbol of factorial, which is very simple. We're going to solve addition, subtraction, and division of factorial. Okay, and we're going to just introduce permutation a little bit, maybe just define permutation and just see what we're going to be doing in our next class. So basically, permutation is going to be on Thursday. All right, so let's start. Let's see what we have. So what is factorial? Now, just calm yourself down. A factorial is a counting method, okay, that uses consecutive whole numbers as factors. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's move to the other explanation. The other definition said a factorial is the product of all products. When somebody say product, what does that tell you? Multiplication, right? Factorial is the product of all positive numbers. N. Okay, let's say that number is n. What I mean, n means like the number can be 5. So if I say the number is 5, meaning n is equals to 5. Okay, that's what I mean. The positive numbers n. From the number downward. Okay, let's see. Let's the first definition. It's a counting method that uses consecutive whole numbers. Meaning that if my whole number is let's say my whole number is 4, I'm going to be doing it consecutively. I'm going to be going downward from 4. The next number is 3. The next number downward is It's 2. The next number downward is It's 1. Okay, I know you will just be looking at me like this, but just wait. So the next definition said a factorial is the product of all positive numbers. Now, of course, the number has to be consecutively. That means going step by step, okay, consecutively. It's just like consecutive means like you're counting from maybe counting downward 4, 3, 2, 1. You're not going to say 4, 1, 9, 10. No. So consecutively, next after next, okay. That's what I mean by consecutive whole number. Now, this second definition says is the product of all the positive numbers. So these consecutive numbers, you're going to multiply them downward. Okay, so our symbol for factorial. So first of all, we've done with our first objective. So when someone asks you what is factorial, simple say it's the product of all positive numbers downward. That's all. All positive numbers downward. Okay, that's just the definition of factorial. So we're going to see how this definition will help us. And our symbol for factorial is this exclamation mark, and we write it as n factorial. So n can be anything. N is the number we are looking for. N can be maybe let's say find the factorial of 5. Here it's going to be 5 factorial. Okay, and in 5 factorial, you can just guess how we're going to solve that. Remember, our definition says is the product of all positive number, meaning our number must be positive. Okay, so this time around, all the numbers we are going to be treating is positive. Okay, we are going to multiply them, all the numbers downward, meaning that if you're saying 5, the factorial of 5, okay, that means we're going to have here, we're going to write it as as 5 factorial. We'll put our exclamation mark. Our exclamation mark is what? Is factorial. Okay, so in 5 factorial, we're going to multiply it and count it downward, meaning we're going to say 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that's just all about factorial. So like I said earlier, it's just the name, so don't be scared of the name. Okay, it's something that you know that is very easy to do. I'm sure if I give you assignment, you're going to do it perfectly. So let's see examples. Okay, so like I said, 5 factorial. You see, 5 factorial means we're going to do it what? Downward, and our number here we're going to be what? 5. So 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. We'll stop. They are what? Our positive number. So we are not going to have 0, because if we have 0, everything is just being destroyed, because 0 multiplied by any number will give us 0, right? So we are going to just stop with our 5 numbers. So let's count the numbers we have. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 numbers, and we have here 5 factorial. Okay, so we are not going to have 0. Okay, so we have 5. You multiply it downward, going downward, okay, till you get to what? To 1. So that is to say, if I have 100 factorial, you're going to have a very large number. You're going to be telling me 100 multiplied by 99 by 98. You're going to be doing that consecutively till you get what? 1. Of course, I'm not going to give you that. So we only multiply 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. We'll have what? 120. So you see, it's very simple. Let's see the next example. 7 factorial, the same thing. 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. We'll stop there, and if we count our number, it's up to 7. This is 1, 2, follow my cursor. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if we multiply this number very well, you're going to have what? 5,040. So the truth is, here you're going to be having a large number depending on your value of n. If your value of n is large, you're going to be having a very large number. Okay, so I don't know, you have a unique way of multiplying this. You can just say 3 times 2, 6. Okay, you put the 6, and you say 5 times 4, 20. So you write 20, so you have 20 times 6. Okay, so you just do that, and you get what? 3,040. So multiply it step by step. You know you are not allowed to make use of your calculator, so you have to do this manually. Okay, let's see next example. So 3 factorial. So in 3 factorial, it's very simple. We have 3 times 2 times 1. We are done. Our numbers here, let's count our number to be sure that it's up to 3. We have 1, 2, and 3. And 3 times 2 is 6. And 6 times 1 is 6. Okay, so this is very simple. So let's see next example. So what if we have 1 factorial? If we have 1 factorial, there's no work to do. It's just 1. 1 factorial is 1. Is any number ahead of it? It's just 1, right? It's just 1. So 1 factorial is 1. And again, 0 factorial is also 1. In your last assignment I gave you, I said 2 to the power of what? Of 0, like in your indices, right? Any number to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, 20 to the power of 0 is 1. 30 to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, so anywhere you go, anything they say 10 to the power of 0 or any number to the power of 0, you don't have to stress yourself. Most of you were writing 0 in my assignment. Okay, that's not correct. So any number to the power of 0 is 1. And now I am telling you now that 0 factorial is what? Is 1, because there is nothing there. 0 factorial is what? 1. 1 factorial is what? Is 1. Okay, all right. So now let's check this out. If I have something like 5 into 0 factorial, okay, this is kind of a multiplication. When we remove the brackets, we have multiplication. So first of all, you're going to solve the bracket as we normally do in our board maths. So 0 factorial is 1. You just write this 1. Some of you will just give me that the answer is 0. No, please don't do that in this assignment this time around, okay? Because of course you're going to see something like that. You have here 5 into 0 factorial. First of all, you solve that of what? Of the factorial. So you say what? 0 factorial is what? Is 1. Then you now say 5 times 1, which is 5. Okay, so now let's do algebra with factorial, meaning, well, let's add factorials, subtract, multiply, and divide factorial. So you see, it's something very, very but simple. I know you are excited now. Okay, so addition and subtraction of factorial, I'm going to give you like 2 or 3 examples here. So 3 plus 3 factorial plus 3 factorial. So this time around you do it step by step. Okay, so 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. You keep it. You see, I kept it here. So I have my positive sign. I'll put my positive sign here. So follow my cursor. I put my positive sign here. So the next number we also have what? 3 factorial. So 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, I have this. So 3 times 2 times 1 is 6, plus this is my positive sign. 3 times 2 times 1 is also 6. So 6 plus 6 is what? Is 12. Now, don't come and tell me that 3 factorial plus 3 factorial is 6 factorial. No, I will not agree. I will just give you a big bat, big one. And I will not even give you any smiling face or any star. I'm going to give you an ugly face this time around. So 3 factorial plus 3 factorial is not equals to what? 6 factorial. So, meaning that 3 is on its own, 3 also is on its own. They are not friends. Okay, you have to settle this number and you have to settle the other number before you can add them. So maybe if I have 2 different numbers, I have 5 factorial plus 2 factorial, don't tell me it is 7 factorial. You have to what? Settle that of 5 factorial for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then plus 2 factorial. Okay, so don't add them together. Settle the factorial before what you add together. Okay, so that's what this note means. So this is very, very important. Please take note of this. Okay, don't worry, just enjoy the video. I'm going to put this down in the Google Classroom. So let's move to the next question. So here we have what? 3 plus 3 or factorial. So this is where you get what? Your answer to be what? 6 factorial. So that is to tell you that 3 factorial plus 3 factorial is not the same thing as what? 3 plus 3 or factorial. Okay, so here we have what? 3 plus 3 or factorial. So the factorial is outside, right? So we have to set to the bracket first. So now we are filling our board maths. We have to set to the bracket first. So 3 plus 3 is 6, and we have what? 6 factorial. So please take note of this different way. Okay, so don't memorize it, just know what you're doing. That's the key thing here. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 or factorial is not equals to 3 factorial plus 3 factorial. Okay, so here we have 3 plus 3 factorial, yeah, this place here, which is what? 6 factorial. Okay, so we move in step down, what? 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and which gives us what? 720. So now I'm giving you different ways of what? Of adding what? Factorials. Okay, so you're able to what? To understand them better. So I believe this example is fine. Let's move towards subtraction. So here I have what? 6 factorial minus 4 factorial. Now don't tell me it is equals to what? 2 factorial. No. So like I said, you settle for 6, you settle for 4, then you multiply and subtract. Okay, so 6 factorial, we have what? 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, so minus 4 factorial, we have here 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So we multiply this, we have 720 minus 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is what? Is 36. So we subtract it, we have what? 684. Now let's see another example. So here is also the same way. 6 minus 4 now, just like that with this one that we did in number 7. Okay, so I'm just using the same numbers here so that you know that they are not the same thing, right? So we have here 6 minus 4 factorial. So the 6 minus 4 is what? Is inside a bracket. So 6 minus 4, we have what? 2. So we put what? Our factorial. So 2 factorial is what? 2 times 1. And our number here is 1, 2. So ensure that your number is up to 2. 1, 2. So 2 times 1, we have what? 2. So these are the different ways we can add and subtract factorial. So I know you've learned a lot. So let's move to multiplication and division of factorial. Okay, 3 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. So this time around we were not doing addition. Okay, 3 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. I'll do that of 3 factorial. I'll step it downward. 3 times 2 times 1. I'll put my multiplication sign here. So I have my multiplication sign, and I also have 3 factorial. So I'm going to have 3 times 2 times 1, and our number is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we are fine. So 3 times 2 times 1 is 6, multiplied by 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. So we have 6 times 6, which is 36. Okay. All right, let's see another example. Okay, there's a note here. Note that 3 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial is not equals to 9 factorial. It's just the same note we have in addition. 3 factorial plus 3 factorial, any number you're adding at all, don't just add the number. Settle the factorial first before you do the algebra. Either you add or you subtract or whatever you're asked to do. Okay, so 3 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. Don't multiply them for me like that and start stepping down. Do them separately. Okay, so at this stage here, they are not friends. So it's when you have you factorize them, then you can now perform your algebra. All right. So we have 2 times 2 factorial. So they are in the bracket now, so we can multiply first before we have we have our factorial. So 2 times 2 is 4, and we have our factorial. So we're going to do in a step of 4 times. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So which is 24. Okay. So let's see that of division. Okay, division of numbers. Let's see that of division of numbers. So I have 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial. So 5 factorial, I'll have it instead of 5. 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 2 times 1. So normally here you can just cancel these 2 factorial at the numerator and cancel the other 2 factorial at the denominator and cancel 1 factorial and 1 factorial. But let's just break it down for now. So let's just say 5 times 4 times 3, okay, which is the remainder. So these 2 factorial and 1 factorial is gone because they cancel out at the numerator and the denominator. So 5 times 4 times 3 is equals to 60. So that's all you need to know about factorial. Factorial, the symbol of factorial is an exclamation mark, and if we want to solve a factorial of addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, you have to follow a certain guidance, the rules that you follow. When you see a bracket, first of all set the bracket, but if there is no bracket, we just do them separately. So that's all we know about factorial. Now there's a subtopic we have in factorial, which is permutation. We have a lot of them, but this is your stage. We're going to just introduce very little factorial permutation. Okay, permutation is just we just bring it out from factorial. Okay, let's see what is permutation. So I hope that of factorial is clear, but if you have any question, don't forget to write it down in your Google Classroom. Now, permutation are arrangements. They are arrangements of different objects with concentration to the other object. They are just arrangement. The number permutation is giving us n factorial over n minus r. So when you have a factorial is represented in this symbol, this n is the number of objects and r is the position. So maybe you have to look for maybe 5 permutation 2. That's the way we call it. Okay, you know, the other one we say 3 factorial. So now this permutation is just arrangement of numbers. Okay, maybe you're asked to arrange A, B, C how many times can you arrange ABC? Okay, so you have ABC, the next one you have ACB, the next one you have BAC, like that. Okay, so I just feel to stop here, because if I move further, some people might not be happy with me, because now they are seeing things that they don't like. Okay, so I just want to introduce what the class, okay, for permutation. So on Thursday you're going to see a detailed study or lecture on permutation. I'm going to also give you a little recap on factorial, but just know that permutation is just what arrangement. Okay, so you can check that out in your leisure time, check more about permutation. So when we come to our class, our next class on Thursday, we're going to what flow together. So like I said, permutation is just what arrangement of what, of numbers, of objects, of figures. And in permutation we arrange them in what, in order. Okay, so like I gave you an example, how many ways can we arrange what, ABC? So ABC is one way, ACB is second way. Okay, it's just like a game. So this permutation is just like a game. CAB is another way, BAC is another way. So we have to sort them out. So that's what we're going to be doing in our next class. So just a brief recap of what we've achieved today. We've understood what is factorial. Factorial is just what, product of what, of numbers downward. Just take it like that. Okay, or you can just make it more enticing. You can just say factorial is what, is the product of what, consecutive what, numbers downwards. Okay, so like I gave in the first example, you have to find the factorial of 5, and the simple factorial is what, is an exclamation what mark. You have to multiply that number downward. So of course you're not adding 0. If you add 0, you've destroyed everything, right? Because 0 multiplied by any number will give us what, 0. And we went ahead to the algebra on factorial. We add factorial, we see different way of adding, subtracting factorial, of multiplying and dividing what, factorial. And we introduced what, permutation. Remember, don't forget, 0 factorial is what? Of course I know you've said the answer. So in arranging in permutation, which we're going to continue in our next class on Thursday, is just what, arrangement of what, of numbers. And this is the formula that we'll be using. Remember, in factorial we just only have what, n factorial. There's nothing there, just n factorial. But in permutation we're going to be having n permutation what, r. That's the way we pronounce it. So that means if you're to find 5p3, okay, let's say this n here is 5. Okay, let's say n is 5 and r is 3, so we call it what, 5 permutation what, 3. Again, 5 permutation what, 3. Like I said, don't mind the name. The name is just there to scare you, but don't mind the name. It's very simple, right? I prove you that is very simple. So here is equals to n factorial. This n is your n, here is still your n, so divide by n minus r. Okay, that is to say, if, okay, n is the number of objects and r is what, is the position of what, of that object. That's to say, if my n is 5 and my r is 3, so here I'm going to have 5 factorial, okay, which is at the numerator. So I said my n is 5, right? So I'm going to have 5 factorial divide by what, 5 minus 3 factorial. You get it? So in essence, I'm going to have 5 factorial divided by what, by 2 factorial. Okay, so the good thing is we are still making use of what, factorials. Okay, we will still end up in either multiplication, or we'll still end up in what, in division of what, of factorial. Okay, so in permutation we're going to be solving what problems, like I said, how many ways can you arrange a number, A, B, C, or how many ways can you arrange a letter or a word. Okay, that word is going to be very interesting, but I just want to urge you to get ready in our next class, so I don't want you to be scared. Okay, so have a nice day and stay safe. Of course, you will see your answer, your assignment in your Google Classroom. Please endeavor to do your assignment and submit on time. You guys are really doing a great job, so continue, and don't forget to keep safe. All right, bye for now.